Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Season 12 SSBL draft. Long awaited, but we are finally here. And with me on the stream tonight is Aggie to help me out in the background. Aggie, are you there right now?
Yep, can you hear me?
I certainly can. And let me know in the chat if how Aggie sounds, if he needs to be higher or lower, if I need to be higher or lower. But here we are. We are ready for the draft. There's going to be a lot to unfold with this draft. What do you think is going to be the biggest storyline, Aggie?
I think this is compared to other draft classes. I think might be considered a weaker draft class, but I think it'll be interesting to see what people find in the class. I think there's a lot of negative traits people are going to have to look past on these players, so it'll be interesting to see how they're utilized.
Yep, I agree. I'm overall. I didn't actually do the math to see if it's overall weaker, but I do think there's a lot of interesting storylines because there's a lot of players that I think are good, but maybe just have like one thing wrong with them. Like we have some high players up there that have, I think, double negative traits. Some high players that
Yep.
maybe are lacking in one category and others. So I think there's a lot to be had out there, and maybe with just a little bit of patience, some teams could come out with a player that is really beneficial with maybe just a little bit of tooling.
Yep, exactly.
All right, but without any further ado, I think we will open up the proceedings here of the draft. The Dragons will be on the clock, and I think to no one's surprise, the pick will instantly be in. And with the first pick of the Season 12 draft, the Dragons will select Thomas Nunez, pitcher.
All right, and yeah, easily the best player in the draft. I believe they are an A+ rating in the game, so that's a no-brainer. I think they're the only A+ player in the board. So, yep, no brainer right there.
All right, and with that, we head to pick number 2, the Storm. You are officially on the clock. Start the clock.
I'm trying to make this whole row red, and it's not letting me. Let's see.
There it is. I see. Oh well, that's good enough.
Okay,
I
okay.
think I think the number cells have like conditional formatting, but that's good enough
Yeah.
to indicate that
Okay.
that player is not there. I think I adjusted the sound. Said I was a bit quiet. Pumped myself a bit up.
So Storm on the board, or sorry, Storm with the pick. Wonder who they're gonna go with. Do they go with another pitcher, or do they take the top-rated batter in the draft, Bowen Nava, the shortstop? It'll be interesting to see what they go with here.
Hummus was hoping that Nunez would fall to 15. I think that
Yeah,
was a little bit outside of
that.
expectations.
Yeah. So is the combined tab like if I look at the combined tab, that's like the auto draft
Yes,
for
the
people
the
who've never made a board?
green column, G column, is how we will rank players
The G
for auto.
column.
So like
Okay.
as we go there. All right.
So okay.
Oh, the
Oh, go.
pick is in, and with the second overall pick of the draft, the Storm select Rodney Kane.
Is that a batter?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Rodney Kane.
He's a center fielder. Yes, center field IFOF, which is pretty huge.
Yep. Put him anywhere on the field, and he's got high speed, high fielding. So I think the Storm were looking for a player that they could just basically plug and play anywhere on the field.
I think that may be a bit of a surprise to some. I think that may have been a bit of a surprise. All right, now up on the clock will be the Stingers. I think they said they might not be here, so they did send it aboard.
Okay.
But I will just make sure. I actually, some of these newer members, I'm not exactly 100% sure on what their Twitch names. Righty, time's ticking down. I think I will go ahead and put this pick in for the Stingers. Pick number 3 of the draft will be Kerwin Bates, pitcher.
Kerwin Bates. So that's I think our first player picked with a negative trait. He's got falls behind, but if you look at the ratings, 90 velocity, 54 junk, 82 accuracy, and he's a specialist, lefty specialist, so that's pretty deadly. So
A lefty with specialist.
yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean those specialist traits are pretty big.
I think reverse splits is a little more dangerous because it also impacts switch hitters. I think you have you have one or two, right, on your team on the Bombers.
Yes. And
Yeah,
Chat
that
makes
always
a good
drives me nuts.
point with Hummus. 80 falls behind with 82 accuracy is not a big deal, and I
Yeah,
agree with that. That's
that's true.
not a big deal. With pick number 4, I was right about this one. It's already in. At pick number 4, the Serpents are going to take Riley Millstream, pitcher.
Reverse splits. We were just talking about
elite
that.
four-seamer, is it? She's got 2 positives.
Okay, so So the last 2 picks I gotta make up for. So Kerwin Bates and Riley Millstream.
Yep.
Kerwin Bates.
Dean tipped his hand a little bit on either the first or second showcase stream we did. I think he said pick number 4 was going to be, I think it was, we were watching a Delta game. I think it was Delta or Zeta. He said like pick number 4 is probably from one of those 2 teams. And double positive traits just screamed Serpents to me. And so that's kind of who I had earmarked, and I was correct in that one. But
So
another
I'm
pretty
trying to
solid
find.
pick. Going a bit down the board. Still had pitchers in the 220s available, but picks up Millstream with the 2 positive traits at 211.
One thing about Dean is he loves his double positive traits.
And she has been, I mean, in the showcase game, she has been very, very solid. She only really had one outing that was kind of shaky, but overall, she's been pretty positive.
We got it. Let's see.
Wow. Okay, the pick is in for the Liberty, and I'm a bit surprised by this one. But with the 5th pick of the draft, the Liberty are taking Tony Hardcore, catcher.
No, that was my guy. Oh,
So a
that was my
catcher
guy.
off the board in the top 5. Wow.
Shoot. Okay, I was worried he was going to go early because he is, I think, the best catcher in the draft. Oh no, that was who I had my eye on. This is not good.
Tony Hardcore coming in at 69, 83, 43, 66, 82. But is behind on the big board overall by Alvalos, who is a couple spots ahead of him. So, running, do you want to give like a little bit of a reason, like what made you lean towards Hardcore over Alvalos or anyone else? If he
Well, I could tell you that he's a better hitter, and so yeah, where like Alvalos has a high fielding where I think the hardcore's fielding is like 60, but if his bat's really good, so if he gets locked in, his fielding will go up anyway. So, and he's got the tough out trait. So, good pick. Just gotta tip your hat because I was gonna pick him. I'm trying to keep up here.
All right, no sweat at all. So, catcher off the board, and we go to the Walkers, and the Walkers could not be happier with how these first 5 picks went, because the Walkers will gladly take Bowen
There
Nava,
you go.
the
Yep.
shortstop, the top of the board of the batters, and fill in a big hole that Walker's defense had last year.
Yep. Best overall batter in the draft. So
I mean,
easy
that
pick for
that
them.
could not have fallen better for the Walkers, I feel like, because it allows them to move on from, oh, what is his name? I've forgotten his name. Um, that's the wrong. Yeah, Hiker, Mulberry Hiker, who was okay, but just struck out a whole lot and just didn't really move the needle at all. Was 55, 30, 85, 84, 84, but get a bat that is just so much better than that, and defense that is just as good. So, an absolutely huge upgrade for the Walkers there at short. Get someone to really anchor the defense for them. So 6 picks in, Aggie. What has been the biggest surprise so far? Is it Hardcore?
Well, it's hardcore because I thought I was hoping he would fall later. Because overall, if you look at his ratings overall, it's like they're pretty solid, but there's better overall players. But in terms of catchers, in my opinion, I think he was the best catcher in the draft. So I was really hoping he'd fall down the boards or like go where I thought he would go, which was late in the first round. So that's my big surprise. So
I mean that
yeah.
is a huge take for the Walkers. For a lot of the speculation early on, and was that Nava was either like 1 or 2, but having him go all the way to 6 was just
Oh, you mean
absolutely great.
Nunez? Or sorry, I'm looking at the wrong play.
Nava,
Yeah,
sorry,
you're right. Not
I
Bo Nava.
they're both in names, so I've probably said the
Yeah,
wrong one at one
yeah.
point.
No, you said the right one. I
Oh,
was
okay.
confused. Bo and Nava. Yep.
All
Yep.
right. Pick number 7. The Sonics already have it in. and they are going to take Beckett Bernal, second base.
Beckett Bernal. So I'm looking at him, and really good hitting rating, 75 power, 93 contact. Fielding, that's a little scary, 48 at second base, but I mean his bat is awesome, and then he's got contact versus left-handed pitcher and mind gamer. So
Yeah, Mind Gamer,
um,
I think it could be a really big trade, and a lot of people very upset that Bernal has taken. Booft very upset. Dean, I think, very upset. I'm pretty sure Pandora is a little bit upset. I know I've talked to him quite a bit, and Bernal always seems to be someone he mentions from time to time. But a nice bat goes to the Sonics, an infielder, so maybe go up the middle. He does have third base secondary. Maybe put him at the corner. Maybe the fielding a little bit low to play third base, I feel, at the hot corner, but still solid overall. A big bat, which is what the Sonics really need. You know, the offense in the second half was not good for them, and so another piece for them to get going, especially at Shaka.
yeah.
All right, pick number 8. We go to the Express, and they have a draft board in, and it looks like they're going to get the top player they have listed.
Wow.
And they are going to take Alan Dupole.
Interesting that they had them that they had him as the top rated.
I mean,
Even
honestly, I don't blame them at all with how
they
good
probably knew.
Dupole
Yeah.
has looked in the games. He has been fantastic. Like I think we saw him 3 different times. And like he had 10 strikeouts the first time. I want to say he had like 8 or 9 the second time, and then we saw him briefly earlier today in a relief session. I think he still had like 5 strikeouts. So I really think that's a great pick for the Express. Honestly, like he was going toe to toe with Nunez. I mean,
Mm,
Nunez was, the better overall, has about I think 15 more points in the pitching. So I mean, and with double positive, I mean that's just a clear
mm.
pick there. But um, Dupole going as the 4th pitcher off the board to the Express at 8 is huge for them as they try to rebuild that rotation.
Yeah, I mean, 341. Or wait, am I looking at the right? No, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong numbers here. Uh, oh, I filtered them out on my spreadsheet. But let me see if I go back here. Um, yeah, 78 velocity, 64 junk, 87 accuracy. What was the negative trait? It got easy jumps. Easy jumps is kind of you know, not really a make or break type of negative trait. So, um, yeah, really good pitcher.
All right, and we go to pick number 9, the pick that was traded for about an hour ago, 30 minutes before
Ooh.
we were planned to start the draft. The Quacks taking over at 9, getting a trade in with Area 51 to get them at the 9 spot. The pick is in. Oh, wait, he edited it. Hold on. I want to double check with him. It was one word I was searching for. I saw him, and now I looked back and it's different. I want to just verify before I say anything. Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure I have 100% confidence in what it is. Yes. Okay. All right. I did want to type something in, look back, and be like, uh-oh. Okay. With pick number 9, the Quacks will take Alec Word, pitcher.
So that's a double trait player.
And a 5-pitch arsenal already.
Five
That's
pitch
really huge,
arsenal.
I feel like.
Yep. The only, I guess, negative with him is the 49 accuracy, but I mean, you could easily bump that
Throw a
up.
few points on that.
Yeah. So really solid pitcher. Metalhead is kind of well, it's one of those traits where it's like it's not really important until it happens.
Well, I think it goes to the old Peyton Manning saying, like, well, I guess it's better to have it than to not have it,
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I mean, hey, 2 traits are better than 1 trait or no traits, so, and with as many
Yeah.
pitchers that did get hurt, I feel like, it's a good thing to have in your back pocket.
Yep.
All right. Going over the chat. So people are still talking about the hardcore pick, how that has kind of thrown things off. Pandora says everything's screwed up now. Express making a comeback says boofed. Biggest draft trade so far. The Quacks there. All right. And here is the doctor. The pick is in for the Cyclones. And the Cyclones, with the 10th overall pick in the draft, they will take Malachi Morales, shortstop.
All right, let's take a look. So really solid fielder. Only knock on him is this contact is 37, but you could throw points there to raise that up. But really solid fielding shortstop.
So let's see, he was fourth best overall player, but has been kind of maligned, with only having the 37 contact. But like you said, just a really solid overall player. Like you can maybe put a camp into that contact, and he probably will be able to survive that. Um, so overall, I think that's a pretty good pick, and he's a lefty bat too, so that also helps out a little bit as well. Okay, man, we're making really, really good time. Just 30 minutes into the draft, and that's not even including like the 10-15 minute countdown. We are flying through this. We go to the Skulls of Rock at pick number 11. And with that pick, the Skulls of Rock are taking Garrett Rhodes, pitcher.
Ooh, Garrett Rose was a player that I had identified early on because I think that he has the workhorse trait, I
Yes.
believe. And to me, if you're going to have a player with workhorse, you put him at that long reliever, the SPRP position. You don't put him at like starting pitcher, just because like I feel like they could pitch so many games, just eat so many innings. But yeah, that was a player I had identified early on. But yep, I'm not surprised that he's gone early.
Yeah, and you make a good point. Having that in the SPRP trait,
Mm-hmm.
makes him, I think, potentially more valuable because, you know, it may be a way where you shield your bullpen more, where you don't necessarily maybe have to have as many arms in the bullpen because, he could probably pitch like 2 games in a row before he really has to have any kind of significant rest.
Yep.
Whereas, if like a normal SPRP comes out and throws like 50, 60 pitches, if it's, a longer outing, like they're probably not going to pitch for another 2 or 3 games. Whereas that
Yeah.
buys you a lot more availability of a pretty good pitcher, too.
Yeah. Yeah. With solid ratings, I that's how I would use him. Solid ratings. Put him in that long reliever role and just let him eat innings throughout the season.
All right, pick number 12. We are back on the clock with the Quacks. And okay, is that your final answer, Maniac? You changed that name on me last time. Yes, no, yes. All right. With the 12th pick in the draft, the Quacks are selecting Arthur Hampton, pitcher.
So Arthur Hampton is another lefty specialist. They do have the meltdown traits. That's one thing you got to look out for. But meltdown, I think, only triggers is it after 4 people reach base or something?
I
So it's
think
like
it's
really rare.
4 consecutive have
Yeah,
to reach in a row.
it's pretty rare for
Yeah.
that to even trigger.
And then
So
even at that, if you've got, spirited, I think that's spirited. Down to like if you've got that third tier, then really don't know how much that affects it.
yeah.
All right, so we're halfway through the first round, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers off the board. So a 7-to-5 ratio so far, halfway through. And pick number 13 is in for the Liberty, and they are going Ned Bielemy, pitcher.
Ooh, dang, that's another person I had. That was my backup pick. I'm starting to not realize what figure out, or I don't know what I'm going to do on my pick because my players are flying off the boards. So gonna have to figure something out. So Ned.
All right, onwards we go. The unicorns are up for the first time. See some typing in the chat already. All right. The pick is in for the unicorns. And they are going with Nimbus Woolmate. That makes it a fourth straight pitcher off the board. Second.
This roommate.
Getting message here. Okay. Okay. So we got the Lumberjacks up, and we have a pick in already. And we will break the string of pitchers. Surprise, surprise. The Lumberjacks and their love for offense. They are going to take Kareem Colombo.
Kareem Colombo looks like a designated hitter candidate. He's got power, contact, and speed. Low fielding, low arm, but I mean, if you're going to use him at designated hitter, that seems like the ideal spot for him.
Okay. There. Okay, we go back to the Serpents. They are back on the board for their second first round pick. And at number 16, let's see. What's this? Can you tell me if that's a position player or a pitcher? Not quite as it feel like I was. All right, pitcher. They are taking Samantha Abor. Ah, there it is. Duh. Okay.
Does that mean I'm on the the board right now.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Shoot.
You can take some time since you're helping me out,
Okay.
so you can have a little bit extra
All
time.
right.
We're making great time, so no need to rush. So,
All
like
right.
we
Yeah.
mentioned, so 16 picks in, and having a bit of a run on pitchers now. So we're evenly split. We were 7-5 split at pick 12. Had three more. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pitchers.
I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I wanna just double check everything. Yep, screw it. I'm doing it.
All right, he's doing it. He says,
I'm doing it.
put it in your team channel, but also feel free
Let
to
me
announce it to the world.
um let me make sure that his ratings on the sheet are match up. Where is he? All right. I'm going with fail
Oh my
Barnswobble.
gosh! Fail Barnswobble! Wow.
I had my players taken off the board, so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna hit the nuclear option. best hit
Nuclear
in my
option
opinion, best hitter in the
indeed.
draft.
See. Wow. What a selection.
I'm going to put him at first base. He's or maybe I'll put him at DH. I'll have to see how that works out. But basically it came down to I wanted a spirited player, and yeah, Tony Hardcore was the guy I had my eyes on, and he was taken. So I just went with the best overall hitter, and he's spirited, so works out.
Okay, so we go to the Diamond Jacks now. Who are on the clock.
And yeah, his ratings are um like his overall rating is like 302, but if you look at his ratings in the game, it says A minus his grade. So I know that it factors in um, offensive stats, I think, more than fielding, but yeah.
All right, the pick is now in for the Diamond Jacks. And with the 18th pick, they are selecting Paxton Oello, pitcher. Next pitcher 11, I believe. Yeah, pitcher number 11 off the board. I think he had 15 last year. I said that we would have more, so I don't know. It's going to be tight. All right, so now go to the Express. And I do see that Boof is in the chat. Boof, I do see that based on what is available, if you can, is what I just typed in your team channel who you want to select still? Because got Dupole, Word is gone and Bernal is gone, so that would leave that guy left. Confirmation here. All right. Confirmed, and it's going to be Albert Alvalos, catcher for the Express. A-L-O-S. Uh-oh, I just thought of a new thing to have Moobot say. All right, Boof claiming steal of the draft there at pick 19. What do you think, Aggie?
I mean, he's pretty solid. Yeah, I think him and Tony Hardcore are pretty close in terms of their catching ability. But yeah, I mean, I think he's probably the best defensive catcher in the draft. Tony Hardcore being the best offensive catcher in the draft.
Right, we now turn to the Skulls of Rock back on the board. Sounds like there's some reconsidering of the board. Some things did not quite fall how they were expecting. They were hoping for a catcher, but Avalos and Hardcore going off has kind of shuffled some things. Instead, they will get one of the best pitchers available still, No Winkelson. No Winkelson. 226 overall pitcher still available here late in the first. Kind of surprising.
They only have two pitches in their arsenal, and they have the falls behind. But again, falls behind with high accuracy. I don't think that really matters much.
All right. We are now on to pick 21, which is the wrong fielders. I do not see that squares online. Not have any kind of draft board.
Okay.
So, first time tonight, we may have to
Pat Navarro?
go to the big board. Automatic selection board. I will go ahead and just run the timer just for effect since we're still making time. Also gives me a little bit of time to look over the board myself since I am quickly approaching my pick. Without any interaction from Square. Next selection would be Pat Navarro, it looks like. And we are just cruising right along. It's not even going to have been an hour for this first round. People have been on point. Left. Five more seconds before all this pick.
8, 9.
All right, I am going to go ahead and call it. Wrong fielders will be selecting Pat Navarro.
Not bad. If they need a right fielder, that's a perfect right fielder.
Honestly, going back to when I thought I was running the wrong fielder, outfield was honestly outfield was honestly a position they were fairly well set at. They honestly needed a catcher more than anything, but how the board went wasn't really a great one left. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so we move right along, and we're to the third first round pick of the Serpents. Pick number 22. There is typing already going in the chat. Oh, well, Russell, you spoke too soon because the pick is in, and it's going to be Crush Marzo. Right fielder. All right, and now that means yours truly is up to the plate. I need to try and figure out what to do. Okay. At what my roster looks like as well. So give me a couple minutes to figure out just what. Okay. I think since. Yep, that's too good to pass up. All right, with pick number 23, the Bombers will be selecting Francisco Grouse, pitcher.
Yep. It's I believe you have a crafty team, right? Like that's
Yeah, I think my mains are crafty and or scholarly. Those are my two like third. So put that channel so I remember. Honestly, like I did not think a pitcher in the 220s was still going to be on the board when I was selecting this late. So I am very happy about that. Oh wow! This is maybe a little bit early for this, but I do love this player. I think this is a great player the Sonics just took, and they are going to take Bream Herman, pitcher.
Bream Herman. Let's see. Oh, reverse splits.
Reverse splits for a lefty.
For a lefty, yep.
Honestly, that's who I thought I was going to take here because I thought that was going to be closer to around the range of what the pitchers were going to be left over. And I contemplated it, but I mean, Rouse does have like 30 more points. So, I mean, I do love Bream, and Bream did pitch really good today, actually. He pitched, I want to say, like 3 or 4 innings scoreless. So really solid outing from him. And I think with it being a lefty pitcher with reverse splits to go against righties, I think that is huge. And at 196, throw 10 in there, he's over 200. I think I love that pick, honestly. Like maybe a little bit early, but you know, for the Sonics, they don't have a second rounder, so getting him there, I think, is a great bit of value, and I think a really good player. Oh, the Sickos committee is here. All right, let's. Oh, Donut Boy, who was the one guy? Was it Bream? Bream hurt. Wow, that was who you wanted. So a lot of people had their eyes on him, and I do like that. So first round is done. Let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pitchers. So I was wrong. We were actually one under what we had last year. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Yeah, 14. So 14 pitchers and 10 batters. All right. Well, first round done in under an hour. What's your big takeaways right now, Aggie?
Um, yeah, I'm still upset about my players getting taken. So like I said, I had to do the nuclear option. But I mean, yeah, it's I might have the biggest surprise pick probably because my player was way far down on the overall
Yeah, a little
on
bit
the
further down on the overall,
further down.
but
But the bat, it's all
the
that
bat,
matters is the bat.
and that's
The
what you've
bat.
been going like the bat. You had Kale Muscles last year with the bat, so you're
Yep.
like you've got some pretty solid bats going for you.
Yeah, and that was the thing. So Kale Muscles, I was trying to make him my first baseman, but I think I'll leave him on the bench, like as a bench bat, and then convert this failed Barnes Wobble to first base, and I think he'll be awesome there. So, but yeah,
All right. Well, it seems like a lot of people are kind of going with the flow, maybe not exactly expecting this is how the first round was going to go. Let me pull up my copy. So I was making a mock draft as I went along, and I can't give myself credit for picking Nunez. So, but I mean that was kind of known going into it. Um, I don't think I was right about anything apart from Millstream. Honestly,
who did? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
did not foresee the Liberty going uh, position
Hardcore.
player with their first round picks. Nava falling to the Walkers. I hadn't updated with Area 51. Roads to the Skulls. That changed as other things changed. Columbo to Lumberjacks. All right. Well, welcome, Joey. Welcome back. That is the Knights manager for you who are unaware. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We are going in the second round. The Skulls of Rock are first on the clock here in the second round. Let's see what they have in store for us here in the second. Still some pretty solid pitchers on the board here towards the top. You're still pretty epic heavy in this round. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 epic teams taking the 10 of the first 11 picks. Okay, there's some typing, plating. Is that your final answer, Pandora? All right, the pick is in, and with the first pick of the second round, the Skulls of Rock are going to take Green Rounds, third baseman. And I want to hold the phone for just a second here because I think I saw a trade come.
Oh boy.
Okay. This and this and that. Okay, we can keep going for now while that is brewing. Up to that quite yet. Move back to the Serpents. Their 3 second-round picks. It's typing. And they are going back to the pitching side of things, and they are taking Alberto Graham. Alberto Graham off the board. Yep, I am aware. Running confirmation to in here, and we do have a trade. Set up. But the Liberty and the Cyclones have made a trade where the Liberty will receive pick number 35, exchanged for their second rounder in season 13. So we've got another Liberty pick on the board. They now have 4 in the second round. Does that make 9 in this draft? 7 in this. Wrong slot, Whitney. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, I sure did do that wrong. Uh-oh. I almost overdid the Astros. Thank you. That would have been bad. Okay, there, that's right. Okay. This. So. It's better. Da-da-da. So we go back to the Stingers and figure out what. Okay. I have parameters, and so I'm going to take a peek. So with the 27th pick, third in the second round, the Stingers are going to select Jada Cohen, catcher.
Oh, I had my eye on them too.
Their parameters was best available catcher, and I think that was far and away the best catcher left on the board at this point.
Yep.
Right. And moving right along, we go back to the Walkers. Quash is like, oh, dang it. Wasn't prepared. All right, head on a swivel. Walkers a few minutes here since we're. All right.
Can you hear my toddler in the background?
I cannot actually.
Oh, good.
See. Ah, there it is. With the 4th pick in the second round, the Walkers will select Grover Edwards, pitcher. Saw
Good luck.
224 coming off the board here early in the second round. Stepping around the meltdown pitch, I notice. We are starting to get, we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 pitchers in the 200s, but Greg Sanchez with just a 39 accuracy, and Kane Neglector on Ember Nava. We do have Lawson Love still, who actually we saw, I think, earlier today do pretty well. But in the meantime, we go back to the Diamond Jacks. They are on the board. Looks like we've got another trade here. Oh gosh, up after the Diamond Jack. So in the second round, green rounds Alberto Graham, Jada Cohen, and Edward off the. Have another trade in, doesn't affect it, so we spell. Oh. Let's see. Diamond Jacks had to kind of scramble a bit. They got sniped. Okay, fix that. Let me see what we. So we should.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to
No,
keep
you're
up
good,
with
man.
this.
You're good. It goes back and forth. Okay. With pick 29, Diamond Jacks are going to select Fawn Hackett, pitcher. Right. I mean, let me just do a quick peek. So we should have 20. And then Swabble 20. Okay, cool. Looks like we should be up to date there, and it's it's back to me. Ooh. It's out. Um, think at some options. It's gotta be. I have them. What? Traits, the chemistries. Ugh.
Hmm.
It makes it difficult. Just
Yeah.
trying to balance,
I
not
know.
only getting players, but trying to take that into account as well.
I would have picked some totally different people if it wasn't for the traits and the chemistries. Or, I mean, the chemistries.
I kind of dogged them earlier today, but I think I'm just going to go best available. Bombers are going to take Tatum McMahon.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a solid right fielder.
I mean, the speed is pretty good.
Did you have an opening at right field?
Yeah, I've been trying to shuffle around I have different combinations of my outfield. Getting a really solid player there, I think, kind of makes the decision a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I think one of the things the Bombers do need is a little bit more speed. I mean, at the value it was, where it was, I just, taking, 300, like a player that's 359 overall still in the second round is just kind of like, just kind of have to, with how it falls. Okay, Serpents go back to back, and they've got both picks in. They are going with pick 31, Jacob Gibbs, right field. And they are going Reagan Polbean. Another pitcher with a trait reverse splits. Serpents going in on pitching traits. In Reagan Polbean. Hey, find ourselves back to the Diamond Jacks. Some time. typing, and just to let you know, Maggie are up after the Diamond Jacks.
Yep, I have my pick ready to go if they do not select them.
Okay. With pick 33 in the draft, the Diamond Jacks are taking Tim Ruiz.
Okay, good. That's not the person who I wanted. So we're
Ruiz,
good.
center fielder. Right, and then with pick 34, 10 of the second round, Astros select Angelo Maldonado.
Yep, that's purely chemistry. So trying to keep that spirited chemistry. He will replace Leah Wasman, basically. Leah Wasman's gonna get dropped for this person, this guy. So bye bye Wasman.
All right. We head towards the Liberty section of the round. Got 1, 2, got 4 out of the next 7 picks. This is the one they just acquired at number 35. I have a feeling I know who this is going to be based off of. Oh, I don't know who. Okay, well, maybe in one of their. Okay, with pick 35 of the draft, the Liberty are going to select Rock Floyd, pitcher. That takes us back to the Lumberjacks. We are at the halfway point of the second round. Next back on the clock. I see typing already. Typing. Stop typing. Amazing comment by the Knights owner. They fundamentally do not trust the Liberty because they have the same color scheme as Liberty University. All right. Pick is in. Oh. Okay. Lumberjacks saw something lingering and they will take it. They are going to take Greg Sanchez, pitcher. So they are not scared off by the low accuracy of Sanchez. They see 212 points on the board and they say, gimme. Right, we go back to a familiar face, back to Liberty, and let's see. Now I think I know what this pick is. Still don't. All right. They are taking Jay Chops, center field. Righty. Now back to the unicorns. Already typing. Man, we are efficient tonight. All right, with pick number 38, 14th in the second round, Unicorns are selecting Marshall Gilbert, second baseman. Oops. Shaw. That was one of the other players I was contemplating against at my pick at 30 because I had talked about him before. Pretty solid overall, but I ended up going with McMahon because I liked her speed. Still, I think a pretty solid player overall.
I think there were Marshall Gilbert's for a second baseman a little slow, but other than that, really great fielding, great bat. So.
Oh, and then that was a direct snipe of the Skulls. They had Gilbert in their sights, but were beaten to the punch.
They already have it typed in.
the little chat was, "Give me some time." Was going to take them. LOL.
Oh.
So sniped at the cusp.
Dang.
So thoughts overall so far in the second round, Aggie? What has been the biggest pick you think so far? Like the biggest surprise maybe of the second round? Maybe someone who fell this far.
I would say, let me look at my board here and see. See, I guess Green Rounds, solid third baseman.
Yeah, Rounds lasting all the way to the second round was kind of surprising.
Yeah, and then your pick, Tatum McMahon. I think if you were looking for a right fielder, that fits. That's a really solid right fielder.
I mean, taking the fifth best overall position player, early second round. I mean, I think is just house money.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If I was looking for a right fielder, that would have been who I would probably go with. But Crush Marzo.
Because I don't think I necessarily needed a right fielder, but I can move Cervantes to left.
Yeah, because that 95 arm is going to be really nice in right field.
And, emergency catcher too. The fielding's a little bit rough, but
Yeah, I don't know about putting them at catcher with the 43 fielding with the secondary with the catcher secondary, but yeah, you can try it.
Typing chat. Express soon. Typing there, and some things going on here. Things might be getting spicy here as we go late second into early third, and people are eyeing players who maybe have dropped or had their eye on, didn't think they might last that long. Make a snag.
Has a pick been made?
They are working on it.
Okay. I'm able to uh, update the board a little bit better now since I don't have any more picks. Because
No.
I was updating my board at the same time, so it was I was really struggling to keep track of everything.
I
So,
get you. I get you.
yeah. Basically, my strategy was to focus on spirited players. But that's the crappy part because like you're passing over uh, really highly rated players to just make your chemistries work. But that's the trade off.
Okay. With the 15th pick in the second round, the Skulls of Rock are going Arms Churnley. Churnley, shortstop. All right, and we now go back to Liberty for back-to-back picks at 40 and 41. Third or fourth time's a charm, and I know what might. They do get, I think, one of my most notable players of the showcase games, and they select Bryce Walsh, shortstop.
Another middle infielder with not the greatest speed, but this player has dual positive traits.
Oops, that was text,
Oh yeah.
not.
Oh, I can highlight it. Yeah. Oh, now it's all this.
Oh no!
Uh, let's see.
Set. There it is.
There. Okay.
All right, there it is. Okay, Bryce Walsh gone.
Bryce Walsh.
I do like Bryce Walsh. I think if you give him a little bit of speed over this year, maybe next, I think he is a great player. Like he was already making really good plays in the showcase games. And I mean, Mind Gamer, that's a great trait to have. I don't exactly know what the chemistry build right now is of the Liberty, but I mean, Mind Gamer, I think it's just a great one to have. And then First Pitch Slayer on top of that, positive, positive. Okay, and then for the 41st pick, they are going back to the pitchers, and they are going with Lawson Love.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he fell this far.
Yeah, it's surprising. We are almost done with the second round, and that's still a 200-point pitcher on the board. Still one
Yeah.
left remaining. They are the K neglector, but very kind of surprising. The pitching didn't quite fly off the board as quickly as I thought. And it looks like the Liberty sniped the Express. So, yep, Lawson Love was the next one up. But I believe still got this guy. Just want to confirm. All right, it is confirmed. With pick number 42 in the draft, the Express are taking Ollie Castro, second baseman infielder.
That's a really solid second baseman because yeah, the arm's not there, but really, you throwing from second to first, you don't really require that much arm to begin with. But solid bat, speed, fielding,
And having
everything
the
you want.
IF, so probably put him around maybe not shortstop or third base, but second, first.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit of maybe some points in there on the arm, and they serviceable. But I think that's overall a pretty solid bat overall. Someone who can play around. All right, we go to pick number 43. The Knights are here, and they are taking a peek, so they are making sure they know what they want to do. Wow, it's not even 7:30 here Central Time, and we are almost done with the second round. This might be one of the quickest drafts we've done. They're just absolutely flying through this thing. Oh, I need to think about the dragons. And take some time there, Knights. I am taking as well, making sure I know what and I need, unless they should take for the dragons. Take a look at the chat over the last few times. Phantom saying, happy to get Gilbert, although no traits, but a workable overall and a chemistry that fits the squad. And like we were going back and forth there, Aggie. Chemistry also just one of the things to really consider about building a team, is making sure you get the most out of everything you've got. And so when someone falls in your lap that's still pretty good and serviceable, and you got the chem, the things aligned, and you take it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Talking about getting sniped on the player. Thought they were going to now they did it with love. All right. The Knights did snipe the dragons. Knights are going to take Ember Nava. They take the last 200 pitcher off the board at pick 43.
Yeah, the reason why they fell so much is because of that K neglector trait. But I mean, you're getting a pitcher with let's see, 51 velocity, 80 junk, 72 accuracy.
Okay.
So,
let's see, what are they on? They're bad.
oops.
Let's see. That does. Okay. I think that makes sense. Okay. For the Dragons at pick number 44, they are going to select Ivor Hoffman, pitcher. Go a bit down, but I think it fits a little bit better. Another disciplined player for the Dragons, and that should take them into top tier disciplined, which they do have a lot of discipline traits. So hopefully that added chemistry irons out a few more things for the Dragons and maybe make them a bit bigger of a threat going forward. So, and getting two of the really bad pitchers off of their books, get rid of Stu Allison and Cern McCall. So some good movement there for the Dragons, and we go back to the wrong fielders. Are on auto pick. So we need to go back to here. Clear winner here. And I mean, see if I see squared chat. Not so. I am going to again auto select for the wrong fielders, and it's going to be another outfielder. It's going to be Hegwig Wilson. Center fielder. That takes us back to the Walkers. Are back on the clock. We'll have first pick of the night from the Retrievers, right? Coming in saying Knights don't have any holes in his opinion, so I had to look for best player available. Low velo, high junk, K neglector, can be a pitch to contact outgetter for me regular season. Yeah, I can agree with that. And like we were mentioning, the last 200-point pitcher overall off the board, so getting that late second round, I think, is just really strong value. So I believe the Walkers got this pick earlier today, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was the trade with the Monstars. They got 46 and 65 exchanged for future second and third in 14 and a future third in 13. To get another piece or maybe anchor bullpen or bench. Side of things, still got Chewy Steele at 198, Miller Bracketeer 195, Jarvis and Vargas 183, 82, Gates, Bo, and Mackay Overly. Switching over to the batter side, you still have Jocelyn Jordan up on the board. 344 overall, but the double negative traits. Right, pick is in for the Walkers. They are going pitcher, and they are taking Chewy Steele. All right, so need some time here. I need to figure out who the Retriever taking. Let's take it. Barzo's no, Morales is no. Let's see, Snow. That was just take on there. Still. Ah, darn. I just got a little bit sniped by the Retrievers, unfortunately. They are taking Buddy Stone, right fielder. Darn. I was kind of surprised. I thought they would be gone a little bit sooner, and as things were going on, like, oh, they still might be around, but got a little bit sniped there, unfortunately. I think that's a good player. We were talking off stream a bit earlier about cannon arm, and I think kind of maybe a little bit of an overlooked trait, and just traits that we just don't have a lot of in the league so far. I think there's only one right now. They're on the wrong fielders. There were quite a few in this draft. I think there's some lower down that are on the board. But I think a good pick for Puppet and the Retrievers. Unfortunately, I was hoping they'd last just a little bit longer. They had arms, which was gone. It's gone. So Buddy Stone to the Retrievers at 47. And to close off round 2, we go back to the Storm. For the last pick of round 2. Some typing going. Another trade going. So, need to take a quick pause after this. Got the third up to snuff. Oh no, it's not the last pick. 64. So while we're waiting here, Aggie, I just want to defer back to you. What do you think? What do you think so far of the second round? Like, what team do you think made the most ground up? Like, best takeaway.
Kind of hard to tell. Let me go back and look at the picks here.
Start the timer
Let's
there.
see.
So I'm giving you 2 more minutes. So it's here.
I think Ivor Hoffman was a really solid pick by the Dragons.
Look at the chat. Pandora coming in saying this draft went a lot different. Expecting. Expecting at least, and I'm sure others expecting. Especially people like Morales and Barnswabble going so high. He was hoping to get Morales in the second. Yeah, what do you think about Morales going top 10, going 10th overall to the Cyclones?
Let me take a look at him. Morales.
Take a look. I will announce the next pick. Signed him.
Oh yeah, Morales was the high fielding shortstop with the low contact. I mean, if they put points towards the contact, he's a really good shortstop. But yeah, low contact is kind of concerning.
Double checking. Right. With the next pick in the draft, Storm are selecting Pierce Odom. That will complete the second round. Okay, I need to process a couple of trades. I think both involve the skull. This. Okay, so the Skulls of Rock traded with the Cyclones, and they are going to get the Cyclones third rounder at 59. Got another trade, actually. So I need this. Oh wait, Cyclone. So this trade pick. This controls two Skulls of Rock. Then Cyclone. So that done. Then have another Skulls of Rock and the Liberty. Wow, so the Skulls are going to pick 3 in a row. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, so actually Cyclones got just needs sorry folks. Cyclone got Expresses. Yeah, okay, the Cyclones were Express S13. Express S13. Skulls of Rock got Cyclones S12. And then so other trade is that the Skulls are sending their own S13 R3 to they are getting Wax 6. Cyclone Express have Skull. Good on those. I think we still need this to so trade Skulls of Rock. fix these up later, so they're proper order. Okay, so that is that, and so they had skulls go 59, 60, and 61. Okay, but we're now ready to resume round 3. Sorry about that. Let me know if everything looks right. Oh, duh, you can't even see me on the screen. I'm sorry, everyone. Scooting that over to round 3 now. Okay. Okay, so with the first pick in the 3rd round, the Express will select Miller Bracketeer, pitcher. Pitcher off the board for Express to start off the top of round 3. We now go to the first of the skulls. And they got sniped. Skulls are getting hit hard on getting picked right in front of them. Got Gilbert sniped for them, and then now Bracketeer.
Rocketeer is interesting. They have low velocity, but they also have elite four-seam fastball, so it's like that kind of counterbalances the.
Yeah, it is kind of a
Yeah.
weird. I've never quite seen that build out before, where you have a pitcher who is actually really, really bad in like either in one of the skills that they have the elite pitch in.
Yeah.
But it still helps it out, even though it's not great. Makes it better.
Yeah.
And like overall, 195, still a solid pitcher, especially getting here top of the 3rd round. And Express just continue to get pitchers and build out that bullpen, and got a battery mate and Alvaros behind the plate. Solid middle infielder in Castro. So Express making some moves. I think they're moving in the right direction. Giving the Skulls a few minutes here. Okay. Pick is in. And oh, there they are. All right, pick is in for the Skulls. It is Mackay Overly, pitcher. KHI. All right, we head on over to the Stingers. And we take a look at their board for round. Wow, we got another trade of brewing. Give me just a moment here to figure out. Actually, that's in here. It's brewing. Okay. So here, I'll tell you this, Aggie, so we can kind of bounce this off each other and see if we can come to the same conclusion. So, the Stingers put in they want the best bat overall infielder with Crafty as their chemistry.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Hold on. I can look at my sheet and see if
so
that helps.
first Crafty up is Bassinet, 71. I'm sorry, 4177 with Crafty.
So they want best crafty.
Best Crafty infielder, which Bassinet is a shortstop. Then going next down, crafty wise, is Eric Lamb, but they are definitely not better overall with the bat.
They wanted with the bat.
Yes, best bat overall infield.
Okay.
Um, then
Arms Churnley is already taken, right?
yes, that was taken by the Skulls.
Okay. So let me filter them out. I'm looking at my draft board.
Yeah, I think,
Let's see. Seth Bassinet.
yeah, I think it's pretty clearly Bassinet.
That's
Yeah.
pretty solid.
All right, for the singers, it will
Ooh,
be
but Butterfingers.
Seth Bassinet.
The
Shortstop.
Butterfingers trade's gonna be. Well, is Butterfingers that bad?
It can be if you don't have your purple bill. That was the wrong. Do I still have it? So Butterfingers, the word. So worst off, it is 50% chance of a missed catch while diving, jumping, or sliding. Second tier is 25. Third tier is 12.5%. So it's kind of rough, but
Yeah.
well, maybe
They wanted the best crafty bat infielder. That's they didn't say negative traits. So
yeah,
yeah.
they didn't say avoid negative traits or anything. So I think that accomplishes that as a
Yeah.
whole. So Seth Bassinet goes to the Stingers, and the Walkers have already confirmed their next selection, and they are going to take the bite and take on the double negatives. They are taking Jocelyn Jordan. You know what? At this point, I think that is well worth the experiment. A 344 total overall player, and you get them in the third round. Who, I mean, honestly, they are probably one of the most well-rounded players of the entire board. I mean, they're no worse than, oh, I guess they have 61 arm, but I mean, you can put them pretty much anywhere on the infield and they would be fine. You just have to deal with the Butterfingers.
And the
Whiffer,
Whiffer.
I think you can survive, but that is just great value for
Yeah.
the Walkers here in the third round of all things. Okay, so we're back to the Dragons. Let me try and figure out what to do with them real fast. So give me a couple minutes here. So if we've gotten, say we get these two. Access to. Okay. I think. Ooh. Couple options here. Okay, yeah. What does that do? Tree what? I think that's fine. Chemistry. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, pick will be in for the Dragons, and they will be taking Jeff Porter, shortstop. All right. Okay. Okay, we still got a bit, so I'll make note of that. Now it's me. So sorry, taking some more time here. give me sorry, give me another minute or two here. I need to figure out how screwed I am with trees potentially. Yuck. Sorry guys, I was doing a bunch of stuff. Okay. Yep, that's what it has. Okay. With pick 54, the Bombers are going to take Nettle Duncan, second base. Oh, I sniped the Serpents. I'll take that. All right, so I'll give him some time to figure things out. Okay, actually give me some time to process this trade as well. So, got a trade between the Quacks and the Express. That was confirmed. So, post this to roster movement. Max Express. Quacks give up their second rounder in S15 in exchange for the Express's 2 remaining picks here in the third round. Quacks will be back up on the board at 63 and 68. All right. With pick number 55, the Serpents will take LA Terrific, pitcher. And LA actually pitched earlier today and had a pretty decent outing for, let's see, for Zeta. I think that was also another pitcher he had mentioned before that he had liked in one of the showcase games. All right.
Another double trait for Dean. Those double traits.
Lumberjacks are on the clock, and I just making sure I have their pick correct. Taking priority, which is see. Okay. With pick number 56 in the draft, the Lumberjacks will select Dettel, or no, I'm sorry, not that was the wrong one. The Lumberjacks will select Malaysia De Leon. I have to be honest. Malaysia De Leon was one of the first players I picked out from this draft board. I really, really liked her. Honestly, one of my plans early on, like when we started first open trading, was getting her in the second round at like 30 or something. But with just how the board fell and, subsequent stuff happening, I was just like, I feel like I can do better. And then I debated taking her, like getting her there at 54, but the chemistry is just, I couldn't do it with how the chemistries were lining up for me this year. Like, I had to maximize what I could and just could not take another spirited player, unfortunately.
Another
But
double
I
trait.
do love that player. Okay, Running, I want to make sure I didn't misunderstand you, because when we were talking late last week or maybe a week before, you'd given me hints, and the hint that you gave me, I thought that was her. Was that not who you thought that was? Was that not who you were intending to take earlier on, or were you smoke screening me? That's what you meant by go back in time. Okay, that's what I thought. Like DeLeon, DeLorean. I was like, oh, okay. But I do think that's a very, very solid player and very Lumberjacks has 96 power for a lefty. Maybe a bit slow, but I think a solid third baseman if they want to play the field or just they become a DH later on. Okay, pick 57 is. Oh, Dean, did you do that just to spite me? Name wise?
Is it Bo Whitney?
Yeah, it is. I feel like that was on purpose. So, in the history of the SSBL, we had Whitney, who played for the Wildcats, who was my division rival, and now we have Bo Whitney, who is going to be also my division rival. That's kind of funny. Give that up. Revenge for the snipe. I figured as much. All right, fine. All right, we've got the Sonics back on the board at pick number 58. See what we've got. Still some pitchers sitting in around in the 180s on the board. Still some batters pretty high up. The Stars, I feel like, or at least made a couple of good plays. Barrel Straining still available on the board. Alfonso Dawson is the best overall at 339. Barrel Straining 322. Bello Benjamin at 319. Eric Lamb at 316. Got some typing from Russell. I have a feeling that my pick is in Obius. All right, for the Sonics, they are going with Theodore Gates, pitcher. All right, so now we have 3 straight picks for the Skulls. So did I did. So the Quacks are up, but I don't know if I actually reflected that in the tracker. So let me do that. So yeah, give Pandora's plenty of time for 3 straight picks. Okay, so the Quacks traded their S15 second to the Express. First S15 traded, I think. Exchange. Quacks got from the Express 63, 60 are X and the shots. X. Add another call, or actually, and a. Oh wait, no, that's not the Skulls of Quacks. So in a fell swoop, the Quacks have completely traded out of S13. Only have their third and S14. It's going to be really interesting, once, the dust has settled with, the draft and people get a better idea of how their team looks now with the selections, what the trade market will be like, and trying to get those final chemistry swaps done and try to get the fully fledged out version of their. But if anything comes for the future, a lot of it has to come through the Monstars. I had mentioned this earlier in the day. They now have 12 picks in S14. 12 divided by 72. They own over 16% of the S14 draft as it stands right now. I figured one of those players was coming through. Okay, so all 3 are in. So first on the board is Alfonso Dawson.
Yep. Best offensive player, probably still on the board.
Fielder. Next pick, which is kind of what I was thinking, they had named them quite a bit in watching the games. It is Opal Zavala. Opal had a lot of pretty solid games during the showcase. She is a first base. And the final of the 3, this one, Dawson, Fala, it is Brody Jacks.
Oh, damn. Damn. That was someone who I had my eye on.
Brody Jacks, a catcher.
They've got cannon arm and they've got
catcher
and volatile. So if you think about it, if they're able to get outs with the cannon
Oh
arm.
yeah.
They get locked in. There you go. That's who I was trying to trade. I was trying to trade back into the third round to get that guy, and it did not work. Ah.
Okay, we go on and we go to the unicorns. They are typing. Um, here. Okay. Pick is in for the unicorns. Ah, right here. They are taking Bello Benjamin, right fielder. Yeah, I keep on marking them green, not red. All right, Quacks are on the board. Oh, the Quacks saying they got sniped 3 times over, so they need here. Typing. And the pick is in. Pick number 63 for the Quacks will be Phineas Cortez, second base. Are back to the Storm.
So, Phineas Cortez, 36 power, but 75 contact and little hack. So, I think that they're kind of like a slap hitter and lefty. So, yeah.
I feel like little hack is a little bit overlooked as a trait. I think that's a really nice trait to have.
I believe
who was my catcher that I just traded away? And my first baseman. They both had it, and it came in handy a lot. Like it, I think having high contact in Super Mega
Guevara?
Baseball 4, Guevara, yeah, or yeah. Um, well, he also had I think contact versus right-handed pitching, but um, yeah. But either way, like Little Hack, I think really helped him out. Um, Same with my first baseman, whose name escapes me. But yeah, Little Hack's a good trait. Especially if the contacts or the power is already kind of low anyway. It just increases their contact.
On the clock. It's down. Oh, well, I guess I can stop thinking about that now. We have at pick 64, it is going to be Ernesto Fitzgerald. Gerald, the first baseman, the 90 power switch hitter coming off the board here late in the third. He was another one of the darlings of the showcase games. I think that's a good pickup for the Storm here later on. Go back to the Walkers, who were just sniped by the Quacks, it seems. Few moments here to sort things out. For the Unicorn Sane was a very hard debate between Benjamin and Straining. It's more speed, but he decided to go with the positive traits of Benjamin. He has the better arm for the outfielder and additional versatility. Getting down to the bitter end, we have had a very efficient draft here. Oh, looks like the pick is in. Let's see if I can them. Ah, there they are. With pick number 65, the Walkers will take Agnes Lynch, right fielder. I think I like that. That's a nice pick. It's got the speed you want in the outfield. The lefty bat will help out with the 38 contact. A little bit leak in the fielding, but it's got a good arm. And maybe they won't even, maybe they don't start. Maybe having them as a good pinch perfect person.
Ooh, yeah, off the bench. That's a nice.
I think that's
nice
a
bat off
very
the bench.
nice selection there for Walkers.
Make them their fourth outfielder if you don't already have one.
Okay, we go to Diamond Jacks.
Have you seen what pinch perfect does to a batter?
No, is it like plus 25 or
Let me
something?
look it up. SMB4 traits. Um what was his name? What's the trying to think of there's a player in Super Mega Baseball 4 who has that trait that I always pick to come off the bench. Um he was the old first baseman for the Braves, Adam LaRoche. he I don't know if you know who that is, but he has pinch perfect in Super Mega Baseball 4 and he turns into a monster off the bench. Um pinch perfect. So with the base level, it's +6 power and contact. If you're level 2, +12 power and contact, and then if you have the full effect, it's +24. It's insane.
Wow.
So if they have the full discipline, I think it's discipline. Yeah, turns him into a monster off the bench.
Is in for the Diamond Jacks. They are taking barrel straining. Center fielder. So another one of the darlings of the showcase games is off the board. Move on to the Knights. They did submit a board, so back. They were here for a while. They weren't sure. Oh, he's still in the chat, it looks like. Just give him time. Back out what we need to do. They're gone. They may be gone. Actually, oh, we have a selection. Case back. See any take still.
Did their board like rank a bunch of players?
They ranked a few players and then they gave some conditionals.
Okay, I
But,
can help with the conditional stuff.
but actually, one of the players they just directly listed out is still there. Actually, so
Oh,
that scene is from. Okay, I'm gonna call it. I didn't see any. So with this next pick for the Knights, they will be taking Ariel Burke. Ariel Burke. And that is one of the players that was labeled, but we will go with the center field, right field. Okay, up next are the Quacks. Type got some initial negotiations going, so give it a second. The third round, Spy is maybe the biggest, best pick so far here in the third round.
ooh, I like I like the Brody Jacks pick just because I had the same idea. I was trying to trade back into the third round. Um, Obviously, I've been trying to get a catcher because I was trying to get Tony Hardcore the first round. He was gone, so my backup plan was Brody Jacks. And yeah, seeing that he went in the third round makes sense to me because yeah, that he's got a solid bat, but yeah, that cannon arm paired with volatile. I think if he starts throwing base runners out with his cannon arm, that'll boost his mojo. So he'll get locked in. So yeah, I think it'll be like a feedback loop kind of with him.
So with those two traits, so I think those two traits will play.
Okay, with pick number 68, Quacks are taking Rasp Power Slide. Space. All right, we go. Oh god. I think it's pretty obvious. Ches take Stinger. Yeah. Love was taken. Chops. Let's go. Here. Third. Ah, okay, so that was okay. With the, let's see, what are we at? 69th pick. Wrong fielders will select Eric Lamb. Shortstop. That it's out all of the top. What is that? 30 players of the position players. And we say hello to Large Marge with Area 51. They will be selecting here at 70. See what we've got in the chats. Running saying solid draft overall. That draft was good, as I said before. Definitely went off the rails early. Didn't expect so many different pitchers to left so late. Didn't expect the catcher to go so early. Yeah, honestly, if I take anything away from this draft, the catchers being taken so early was surprising to me. What do you say about that, Aggie? Would you be there?
Yeah, because I had my eye on a couple of these guys. So yeah, the fact that they were gone kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
It's like overall so far we have 4 catchers off the board, and out of 6 draft teams, we've taken probably just about all of them. I know there was like 1 or 2 of the teams whose starting catcher was not very good, so got them all pretty much. Says, I knew taking hardcore early was going to cause chaos, but I'm surprised at how much it actually caused. Pandora saying that they were surprised to be able to take green rounds at the top of round 2. Yeah, honestly, rounds going to round 2 was surprising. A switch hitter, third base second, going there. Top third was pretty nice fall for them. Yeah, Running says he liked to be unpredictable, and Maniac says he loves what the Liberty have done. I already guess. I feel like Area 51. I've been wrong before. This person's still available. Yes, they are. We had to get that. Okay. With pick number 70, Area 51s will take Evergreen Gibson. Left fielder. All right, the penultimate pick of the draft. Go back to the Retrievers channel. He trusts me at 71 batters.
Best hitter, or is it?
Let's see. Yeah, he said thing goes for 71. Whatever you pick, batters only. Best at Sarah Donkey. Sarah. I think this is a pretty Sarah Donkey. Best overall bat, even at the stats wise. Next best is Kanan Jacks, but Donkey is a little bit more. So I'm going to go and say Sarah Donkey for the Retrievers at pick 71. And that brings up the Sonics in the last pick of the Season 12 draft. Mr. or Mrs. Irrelevant, taken here by the Sonics. Wonder who that was last year. Arthur Free Express. I don't. All right. Last and not least for the Sonics, they take Montgomery Underhanded, a pitcher. And that will conclude the draft. What do you take away most overall, Aggie?
What's my takeaway? Yeah, I think Skulls have something interesting going on with their, especially with their 3 picks in a row. In the last round, they got some interesting experiment going on there. Liberty have really built up their team through the picks. They had a lot of picks, looks like, in the second round. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Had some good trades. Nothing in during live. I mean, we had the Quacks making the trade for 9th overall, like 30 minutes before the draft, getting Alec Word, a solid pitcher there. Had a few trades, kind of mid-second. Liberty getting another pick, getting Rock Floyd. Liberty, I think we overall had, so the Skulls, the Serpents, tied with the most, had 8. I think the Liberty would have been there, but then they traded their 2 third-rounders to the Quacks. They ended up with 6, but 6 solid picks. Ed Bielemy for the rotation, Tony Hardcore, catcher at 5, Rock Floyd to round things off, Jay Chops, Bryce Walsh, and Lawson Love. I do like Love there I think that's a pretty solid pickup. Going in the 3rd round, I do love Malaysia DeLeon. I'm going to be really upset if she becomes another one of those Lumberjack All-Stars that hits 1,000,000 home runs or something. And then Serpent's getting my namesake is annoying, but,
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Storm getting Ernesto Fitzgerald, that big switch hitter, could be very interesting. That was already a really powerful lineup for the Storm. You had what is her name? Elena Gallagher. Having Ernesto Fitzgerald to go with that is pretty solid. And then going to the end of the 1st round, I really do love Bream Herman. Sonics hitting him. I think that is a really great get pitching-wise for Sonics.
Agree.
But that will do it. So, don't worry just yet about signing and releasing players. I think what makes the most sense right now is, and maybe we can discuss this. Maybe I'm wrong, but Um, we also take into free agency being able to select someone and releasing someone, and well, actually, that might be putting the cart before the horse. Maybe we can discuss this. Maybe it makes sense to actually take a week to figure out the rosters, get everyone's rosters squared away, and then
Yeah.
we open free agency, and then everyone has 22, and then with free agency, if you want to participate, you have to. If you want to select, you have to drop. That way,
Yeah.
it's just a lot easier to track.
Yeah. You want the rosters to be set prior to
Okay,
free
and
agency.
that
in my
looks like to
opinion.
be the consensus so far in the chat. Free agency after rosters are set. Maniac agrees. Pandora running. Okay, so that's what we'll do. So I think we'll take a week from here, allow teams to make trades, get chemistries done, and I'll try maybe my best to figure out, with trades if things have been unbalanced, like what the surplus and deficit is, and then from those trades, like whoever the teams that they unbalanced with, the ones that they would drop would go to that team, and we'll figure that out as we go along. But any closing comments you have, Aggie?
No, I'm just excited for another season. I guess from the Astros side, we're gonna have to figure out who we want to cut, and it'll be interesting. Yeah, those chemistries, man, make the draft difficult,
The
but makes
chemistries
it fun
I
too.
think, are going to be a very interesting thing that's going to be lighting up the trading block channel here within the next few days as people realize what has been done to their teams. And like I mentioned in the Discord, don't worry right now about the SSBL roster sheet we've had running. Once we have teams settled, I will go and I'll make a copy of that and then update from there, and then we'll have a fresh book to go into season 12 with. But that will do it. Thank you all for being here and tuning in to another fun draft. We are well on our way closer to the start of season 12. I look forward to the rest of the chaos that will go on over the next coming weeks. Until next time, this is Chicken Sandwich signing off, and hope you have a great rest of your night and your weekend. And don't forget, lose an hour going into tomorrow, so be sure to set your clocks. Bye-bye.